Let's talk about Aladdin this week on Disney Church, where we chat about the faith and spirituality in Disney films. If we ignore for a second some of the not so great things about the film, the stereotypical depictions of Muslims, of Arabs, the blanket characterization of a region and a culture, at best it's a bit offensive, at worst it's pretty racist, but it's a fun film. We still like, Let's just take a look at the narrative and what themes around faith and spirituality emerge. Obviously, there are characters of faith in the film, predominantly Muslims. There are some religious practices and traditions showcased in the film, but probably not the best ones to highlight. And I'm coming at this from a Christian perspective. I have a very liberal and kind of interfaith worldview, just different approaches to the same thing, different paths to understand God. But we do have the genie in the film who is kind of like a deity, a divine being who has supernatural abilities. I think many of us still hold on to this idea that God is a bit like a genie in the sky, granting wishes, granting prayers. I think it's quite a simplistic understanding of the mystery of the word we call God. But maybe there is something here about parallels to prayer and being careful what you pray for, and maybe the outcome of our prayers will be different to what we expect. Aladdin doesn't get exactly what he wished for in the way he wanted it. A fairly prevalent theme of the film is, I think, around justice and liberation, and a core message across faiths about caring for the poor, particularly in the live-action remake and the more prominent role of Jasmine in the film. I think she embodies something of a character that has a lot more compassion and empathy and a desire to change the status quo. We shouldn't be silent when it comes to matters of justice and oppression. And then, of course, there's the liberation of a genie himself, who is freed from his captivity. It's a whole theme. It's a whole thing. Not exclusive to faith, of course, but I'm someone that puts a much higher value on faith in action more than anything else. And so showing other people love in the way that Aladdin thinks of others and frees the genie, I think is a core component of faith and spirituality. And then, as seems to be a common thread with nearly all Disney films, I seem to always repeat myself doing these little videos, a theme in Disney about self-discovery, spiritual awakening, being authentic to your true self, all that sort of stuff, looking inside of yourself, not trying to be someone else and embracing who you are as a person. As always, I think there's something deeply spiritual about that. Let me know your thoughts, and I'll see you next time. This has been Disney Church.